Sanford Road Trail Run here. I want to give you some first details before I take them for a run on the Salomon Sonic 3 Accelerate. It's part of a triumvirate with the Daily Trainer Sonic 3 Balance we've already reviewed, and a somewhat more stability-oriented Sonic 3 Confidence, which we'll also be reviewing. So the Accelerate is the up-tempo sibling in the group. It has less outsole coverage at midfoot than the Balance. It weighs less. It'll come in about 8.4 ounces or 238 grams for a size 9 versus about 9.9 ounces for the Balance. It's $130, as all three Sonic 3 shoes are. All of them at the same price. All of them share a new midsole. It's a Dow Infuse Polyolefin, which gives very nice, firmer rebound. It's not a super soft, squishy midsole, but in the Sonic Balance, it's a very dynamic ride. They also all share the decoupling line, which has proved effective in the first generation. And the differences between the 3 and the decoupling is, you'll note here how on the medial side it's narrower, or there's less coverage towards the medial side in our Accelerate, and that's for a more dynamic toe off. Whereas here we get a touch more stability, and the Confidence moves even further towards the lateral side. So this is a really well anatomically designed midsole outsole. The compounds here, the combination of the Dow Infuse and the green, which is a viscous memory foam, which is designed to reduce vibrations, and it really did in the Balance. I really noticed that you really just don't feel any vibration coming up. Salomon's claiming that the insert reduces vibration by 15% compared to their prior EVA type midsoles, and shock by 8%, while not changing rebound. And I would say that is correct from what I experienced in the Balance. So this is the up-tempo shoe. So there's a couple things to note as we look at the upper now. We have a definitely more performance-oriented upper in our Accelerate. I just tried them on. I'll comment after I run in them, but this is a performance fit. That's clearly a performance fit. The mesh is denser, looks well ventilated, but quite a bit denser than what we have here in the Balance, which had a notably high toe box. I thought it was a really well done in terms of a Daily Trainer toe box with great hold. They both share, it's a little hard to see, Salomon SensiFit overlays. Really feel a great lockdown here on both sides. They're on the inside, they're just subtly seen through. At the heel, we have a similar tongue, well padded down the middle, with wings around the sides. A very comfortable tongue in the other shoe. It's very similar, but you'll note here that instead of a more traditional collars, we have a more kind of modern, if you will, collar. But what goes on inside are some really dense pads all the way around, quite thick. I felt trying them on, really locked down. So I'm going to take them out for a first run and get back to you. But the Sonic 3 Accelerate, Salomon's up-tempo shoe in the Sonic collection, it's on sale now. It's $130, as are all these Sonic 3 shoes. Kind of a neat way to do the price. Very snappy toe off from the decoupling. And okay, I'm back from my run, and before I give you some feedback, it was an incredible run. I want to tell you a little bit more about the fit here. My right foot over here is narrower than my left, and I have a perfect fit on my left foot and an almost perfect fit on my right. A little loose at the heel while walking around. I really didn't notice it running. Just a touch loose. But the fit is definitely a performance fit. It's comfortable. It's accommodating. I think what we have going on here is this is a fairly dense mesh with lots of ventilation, and it just wraps the foot beautifully with the SensiFit bands, Salomon's trademark. So this is a great racing up-tempo fit, but it is super comfortable and relatively roomy. Those heel holding pads you can't quite see below the kind of light collar really grip, although on my right here it's not quite perfect. So let me tell you a bit more about so I ran about 3 miles, ended up at about 7:56 pace, about as fast as I've ever run that loop. We're at about 6,800 feet or close to 2,200 meters. I've only been here 4 or 5 days, so it was really good. I had a segment PR on the downhill. There's about 100 feet of climbing in the 3 miles, and tribute to our J-pad vibration absorbing insert here, I felt no shock coming down the hill. And then I moved right along through the flatter sections after the downhill. It had on the uphill, actually, I had 2 second places. So what you really feel here is the decoupling. This is not a super flexible shoe, but the decoupling really, you feel as you toe off, you move right to the toe off on the medial side with very good stability, but a lot of agility. The midsole foam here, the Infuse Polyolefin midsole, is dense. It has a very measured rebound and absorbs a lot of shock. So I would call it responsive without any of the harshness. So in comparing, I took a few notes here. What would I compare it to? Well, think of Revlite from New Balance without any of the shock, or the new Power Run from Saucony, lighter with more kind of rebound feel. It's not bouncy like Boost or Power Run Plus or Zoom X. It's very dense and stable, very shock absorbing. So if you like a kind of more traditional ride in your up-tempo shoe, but you want to get rid of all the miseries, if you will, of harshness, this is a really good combination. That vibration absorbing insert really works well. It's very smooth as you toe off from the decoupling. It's very quick. It's not a sort of flexible, snappy Adidas style flex. It's more, you kind of feel yourself moving along that decoupling line, which you can see here. It's definitely is a little heavier, but has a much more kind of responsive rebound than Nike's Epic React. A shoe we recently tested, the Adidas SL20 with Light Strike. Yeah, you might find for a shorter race, Light Strike might be a bit more snappy, but you're going to feel quite a bit more pain, a lot more fatigue from that foam than this. It feels somewhat similar. Compared to, say, Skechers Hyper, this isn't springy. This is more a measured, very responsive rebound. Now, we're going to have a full multi-tester review, but this is a very exciting shoe. It's definitely an up-tempo shoe. I would certainly easily race a half marathon in them, and I might go for more cushion for a marathon, but many will like it for a marathon type distance shoe. If you don't want to go with one of the super cushion kind of shoes. How to characterize it? Well, an up-tempo trainer definitely can be a racer. You know, it only weighs 8.4 ounces, maybe a bit more than some of the super shoes, but you could train in it very easily. Actually, I did a first 3-mile run with my wife at an easy pace, 10-12 per mile, and they felt just fine going slow, which is not often the case with this type of shoe. So a very exciting new entry from Salomon. I think with version 3 and this particular shoe, they're really coming into their own. If I could compare it to the Sonic 2 Pro, which I only ran a bit in, much less harsh, and I probably faster as well. So please stay tuned. We'll have a full multi-tester review of the Sonic 3 Accelerate as well as the Confidence, and we already have one for the Trainer Balance.